Hey, what's up? So in my last video, I talked about cycles, or not my last video, but one of my videos, I was talking about cycles, and everything actually has a cycle in it. So when you're, like, for instance, with your emotions, when you're going through hardships in life, it's just a phase, it's just a cycle. Same with being happy, you know what I mean? You could be happy for a minute and then you just go through a cycle and a phase until the next challenge is brought up. But you can use those phases to your advantage because whatever trauma or whatever issues and problems that you're going through, it's just going to be a phase. It's not going to last forever, and you got to take the message that you're going through when you're uncomfortable, right? Because when you're comfortable, you're not growing. But when you are uncomfortable, then you're put in a position where you want to start pushing yourselves to greater limits than you normally would when you are comfortable. And you'll realize that when you're going through these phases, it's actually a lot more important to go through these phases than it is to achieve your goals. Because in my experience, when we accomplish certain goals, it just becomes a trophy that like sits on the shelf, right? And you just eventually get used to looking at it, and then it's on to the next challenge. But you realize that that phase and that cycle that you're going through is actually more important than the trophy is, because that's when you learn, man. That's when you grow. That's when you start building connections with people who either help you out or are going through the same challenges you are. And like I said, when you accomplish those goals, it just becomes a trophy and ends up just sitting on the wall, you know what I mean? And yeah, just be aware of those cycles. Whatever you're going through, you have to try and see why you are going through it. And you got to kind of look back at like things that you're asking for, because a lot of people, I use this example with like even just like a relationship, right? Like you want this girl that's up here, but a frequency alignment, like you're down here. So when you do get that girl up here, like you're missing all that experience and knowledge to actually be in alignment to whatever it is that you're wanting. So it's not even just a girl, it's just like your goals and all that stuff. And so while your goals are up here and you are working your way up there, these cycles and phases are putting you at a level to where you are aligned with whatever it is that you're trying to achieve and accomplish. And a lot of people forget that when you're going through those cycles and phases, we just want to throw our hands up and quit and just be like, oh, why me, and play the victim game. But we don't realize that, like I said before, it's a consequence. This is what we wanted, but we're never willing to go through the challenges. And then when we are faced with the challenges, we always throw our hands up and play the victim game or blame other people on why we don't have what we want. But when you understand that life responds to you and it doesn't give you what you want but what you attract, then you realize why you're going through what you're going through. Because a lot of people will say they want something, right? And what I mentioned in one of my other videos is like, how can you want something if you're not willing to clear out space for it? And we don't realize that in our reality we create we fill it up with so much stuff, right, in our realities, that when we're wanting more things to come into our little bubble, it's already crammed and full of things that probably don't even benefit us. And we have to like go through those things and just do like a spring cleaning, right? Like just get rid of some things that aren't going to benefit us or aren't going to lead us towards our new goals that we want, or just the new things that we are wanting to attract in our reality. And yeah, so that's just kind of what I picked up through some of the cycles and phases of trying to achieve what my wife and I were shooting for. And you'll come to realize that all these phases and cycles that you're going through are still happening for you and not to you. And just be aware of that. I know it's hard to see it because the emotions are fresh. You want to, like I said, you always want to, everybody is comfortable, right? And they want to get everything in a comfortable manner. But everything is work, man. Everything takes you get what you project, right? So if you're putting in the efforts, then that's what you're going to get back. And unfortunately those efforts just come down to working for everything that is that you want, because nothing is handed to you in life. And if it is, there's probably some sort of attachment to it or another lesson that has to be learned in that way. But yeah, so just be aware of the cycles, man. Enjoy it, because after you get your goals, like I said, it just becomes a trophy and it sits up on the shelf. It just becomes part of wall decor at that point. And then yeah, you realize that it was all it was the process, it was the phases and the cycles that you had to go through to get that trophy that are most important. So enjoy it, man. Enjoy the struggles, embrace it all, because it's all happening for you. But wanted to share that with you guys, and hopefully this helps you guys out. Peace. See you guys on the next video.